So the Australian Open is over, but the tennis calendar continues. But it does pause for one man, Novak Djokovic, and the injury that made him withdraw from the semi-final against Sasha Zverev, well, it's proven it's going to rule him out for a few more tournaments. That's right, and before we go anywhere, make sure you've hit a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get stuck into this news. And the big news is Novak Djokovic, obviously the injury that did keep him out of the rest of that match with Sasha Zverev. It's quite a serious one, obviously. I mean, he wouldn't retire from a match due to nothing, and he normally plays through, he normally wins. I mean, if he'd have been slightly fitter, I think he would have won that match against Sasha Zverev. Jannik Sinner, different kettle of fish. I think maybe that would have been a little bit too far for him with the injury. But unfortunately for everybody, if you're Serbian, he's going to be missing the Davis Cup, and he will miss Serbia's tie against Denmark and the qualifying first round taking place the 31st of January to the 2nd of February. We know how much Djokovic loves the Davis Cup and loves playing for his country, loved winning the gold at the Olympics as well. But unfortunately, he's going to have to sit this one out, and I think this is going to become a more regular thing for him as... well, you're just going to be getting injured more the later you get in your career. He's going to have to select the tournaments that he wants to play. We know the Davis Cup is one he will play again. But, it's going to be Slams and Davis Cup. He said that last year. And there was another tweet that came out here just saying, breaking, according to Forbes, Djokovic is likely to miss 2 full months due to a torn hamstring. Will miss Indian Wells, Miami, and Monte Carlo, which, that's really sad that he will miss Monte Carlo. Most likely will return at Madrid or Rome or even directly Roland Garros. I mean, it would be good if he had a warm-up tournament. But Monte Carlo, that was the one I was hoping for. He'd play Monte Carlo. Obviously, if he wins that tournament, he will have the triple Golden Masters, having won them all 3 times. I mean, I would love to see him complete that before he retires. It's getting less and less likely, though, the more years that go past. This was the image of the injury that Djokovic felt that he had to post as well. He said, thought I'd leave this here for all of the sports injury experts out there. I mean, the fact that he even had to feel that he had to post a picture of a scan of his hamstring just to show the injury. I mean, this just goes to show there's too many doubters out there. There's too many people thinking he's faking injuries. Clearly not. He's just obviously somebody who has such strong mental strength and physical, bravery, let's say, to push through injuries that he just doesn't show it so much on a tennis court. He may show it at one moment, have some treatment, and then come back and win matches. And it does lead people to believe that the injuries aren't as bad as what they seem. But we've seen he's won the Australian Open before with torn muscles and stuff in his body. It's crazy. I mean, there's not many other people out there who could do this. And I've seen this other tweet that's come out, and it's to do with Tony Nadal questioning Djokovic's injuries. I mean, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but feel free to have a look down this and pause it. But essentially, I'll go into one of the sections in a second. There you go. But he's saying on this account, he says when player faces a physical problem in such a match, they typically delay the decision to retire until the last moment. They call the physio, struggle through a few games with limitations, and only when realizing the inevitable do they opt for retirement. Yeah, I mean, he's just saying because he just ended it after that set. I mean, I think he did the thing that he knew in his own mind he wouldn't be able to continue. He wouldn't be able to win the match. So what, you want him to just keep playing until his body is just completely decimated on the court? I think he knows his body better than anybody. And if he wants to compete for another Grand Slam this year, then it's the right decision, and it has to be made. Very, very important decisions have to be made by him and his team, and he's the one who feels his body. He trusts how he feels, and it's served him pretty well so far. But yeah, you can see here it goes on to say about, on the occasion, suspicions began to arise in his quarterfinal match with against Alcaraz after losing the first set with obvious signs of pain. The Serbian made it clear to his opponent and the public in general that he would hardly be able to continue his match. But the reality was that not only did he face the rest of the match with total normality, he even ended up winning it. For me, I think it's just testament to Djokovic. He has to think on the spot. He has to come up with a new game plan. He didn't play the same way he played in the first set. He completely changed it up and went super aggressive. So if he'd have been playing the exact same game style, then maybe you'd have a cause for saying, well, something's not quite right there. But even then, drugs may have kicked in, something which may be numbing it. We obviously know Nadal went through a whole tournament with a completely numb foot and managed to win Roland Garros. So we know that there are things out there to help players just deal with pain. So I think that we've got to, if we're going to give Nadal his opportunity to go through tournaments, despite with crippling injuries and drugs, then Djokovic should be given the same level of belief in his injuries. But that's just some quick injury news. There's me just reading a bit of Tony Nadal stuff, stirring a bit up. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts about that in the comments section. I want to know, is Tony Nadal right or is he wrong? I mean, I don't think he's right. I mean, I'm on Djokovic's side. I'm a little bit biased, but I think everybody sees the proof is in the pudding there with the scan. It's obviously a very serious injury and he will be missing at least 2 months of tennis now. Fingers crossed he comes back stronger and we see him super competitive again come Roland Garros. But please smash a like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.